Yo, welcome back to the High Kicks podcast. How are we
Finger guns,
doing,
finger
everybody?
guns, finger guns, finger guns. We're trying to make
Okay,
this
John
the
Morant.
fastest episode ever. So yeah, we're gonna. Oh damn, I'm John now. Yeah, actually, if I was wearing a shiesty, yeah.
I mean, before we get into footy, that whole jaw thing is hysterical, especially when you look at pictures of him in high school.
Oh, bro, he ended up beating up a kid at a fucking park, and
I know.
didn't get any charges for it, and literally, it was like a high school kid. Like, fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
I don't know.
He's a wannabe thug.
He's a wannabe thug. So we're gonna jump right in. Like Karl said, we're gonna try and rip through everything as fast as humanly possible. Arsenal.
I'd put that down. Arsenal, yeah. Bottle job. What more do you want to say?
They won.
They
What
won
are you
against
saying, bottle
Fulham,
job?
but bro, they're the biggest bottle job. It doesn't fucking matter that they won. Yeah, they have Saka back. Yeah, they have Martinelli back. But it doesn't matter. What's gonna end up happening at the end of the season is they're gonna get fucking second, and nothing's gonna come of it.
Yeah, but that's not a bottle job for them this season because they haven't been in first at all.
I think all things considered, they had a front line, a front three of Inwineri, Mourinho, and Martinelli, and they're making it work.
Bro, and before that, they were
place
using
is pretty
fucking
good.
Trossard,
Trossard,
Glory, and Mourinho. They actually had that as a lineup for 3 weeks.
I think all things considered, you could, an Arsenal fan, you could be content with beginning of the year you had a chance of winning the Premier League.
Yeah, but that went under the rug.
Hey, you're still
with all the injuries.
You're still in. Hey! You're in a European contest with a Real Madrid team that just went to war with Real Sociedad. So,
yeah, you aren't wrong.
Yeah.
You gotta punch his chance in that matchup.
I don't think they do.
I don't think so either, but I'm interested to see the way that the game goes. I don't
think they have any
level,
semblance of a chance to beat Real in a 2-leg.
I was gonna say Real in European matches are just completely different as well.
Yeah.
They make slip ups in league matches. You will never see that in the Champions League, pretty much.
Yeah. I want to move us on to Wolves West Ham. West Ham are ass.
Thank you.
I know, we all know Wolves are ass, but losing to Wolves, and I understand they're only one place above them in the table, but come on.
You lost to fucking Wolves, and literally West Ham have been a shell since they got rid of Rice. So I don't know what the fuck that team has been.
I know we talk about Kieran Dewsbury Hall being disappointed, but how disappointing has Evan Ferguson been on this loan? He has lost so much money.
Non-existent.
Yeah, he has one goal and
so much money.
19 appearances.
That's the main thing. Bro, he literally has been non-existent, and that's the saddest part, because prior to this, one of the greatest young talents that we see that the Brighton system really brings players up, and when they are given the opportunity, yes, I understand West Ham is trash tactically, but he should still be creating some sort of chances within 19 matches. We were talking about Nicholas Jackson having issues.
Well, so hold on. I'm gonna harp on the word you said. I don't necessarily think Evan Ferguson is the guy who's supposed to be creating chances. He's the guy who's supposed to be finishing chances.
Yeah, but he hasn't been doing shit.
He hasn't been doing shit, but I'm just saying his job isn't to create.
I understand. Yeah. I get what you mean, bro. It's just he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
He has been very subpar. Speaking of subpar, Manchester United,
I do want to ask you, how do you feel about Anthony Elanga?
Bro,
scoring?
he's better than our entire fucking lineup. Why did we get rid of him? No, I don't understand. Genuinely, when you look at the way Man U played this match, they got shit on. And then Elanga literally just ran up the side and fucking flipped them. So, yeah, of course. And then we can't finish anything. We can't do anything. We aren't threatening. It does not matter. It does not matter who we have in attack. It does not matter who we have in defense. This is the most disappointing Man U side I've seen in a very long time.
Wait a minute. 23 shots, 3 big chances, and a 1.63 XG. And y'all lost 1-0.
Yeah.
You guys suck.
Yep. Ipswich ended up beating Bournemouth.
Yeah, there's
could you not?
Go ahead,
I was gonna say, are you just gonna disrespect Matt's cells?
I mean, he's been balling.
He's been balling. He had like 5 saves, like 5-6 saves against y'all. I mean,
yeah, 5 saves.
Kept it clean.
4 inside the box, 1 diving.
Murillo also had like a clearance, a line on the line clearance at the end of the match that saved the 3 points.
Bro, we're literally talking about fucking someone who's in third compared to Man U, who literally are.
No, I feel like you guys are just. I just feel like
we're ass.
Like at the same time, though, you have to understand that this is just a problem with every single late season United team is that you fire the coach, right, and then you bring in a new coach who has to deal with every other problems while simultaneously dealing with what he has to deal with right now, instead of actually, I don't know, giving the guy an actual amount of time to try to form a system. Also, your ownership is fucking abysmal. So,
bro, your ownership is abysmal.
We need to see what happens in summer primarily. I think that's really going to determine what's happening with Almiron. But yeah,
what'd you just say?
Almiron.
Almiron is Miguel Almiron, the player. You are terrible with names in this sport. For as much ball as you know, for as much as you follow this sport, you are so goddamn bad with names. It is laughable.
Be fair.
What?
To be fair.
Osimhen Dembele, the number 1 fucking scorer in Ligue 1. Yeah, fuck you guys. I don't want to talk. Ipswich, Bournemouth.
Yeah, so there's
Bournemouth.
There's a woman in Trailer Park Sports Network Discord who's a Bournemouth supporter, and we dogged on her a little bit today. It was funny.
Yeah. I think Ipswich's win really fucks over Chad. We can get into that in a second.
That's just
but that's mostly why I wanted to bring this up.
I don't really think it does. I mean, yes,
I think it does
Ipswich
just because like it puts them points ahead. Like that.
Yeah, but Ipswich is still in the relegation zone also, and they're 9 points behind Wolves. Teams in the relegation zone are not getting out of the relegation zone. Like that.
I think you wait.
It puts the nail in the coffin this late in the season for them. Like I don't think there's a way that they turn it around.
Chad, I'm gonna ask you this question: how long has the nail already been in the coffin? Preseason when you hired Steve Cooper?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think this was honestly just like the summer window provided zero hope. And then we started bullshitting wins, and I'm like, if Everton can do it, why can't we do it? And then we clearly did not have enough bullshit in the tank.
I want to move on to Villa and Brighton.
I was going to say, before we keep on talking about Leicester, I wanted to talk about is Rashford's run of form bullshit or not? What do you guys think?
I mean, he scored, 3 goals in their last couple games. One of them was a penalty. I need to see more consistency from him before I say that it's not bullshit. But
I think this is just like his 1 month, like where he balls out. Like
the player that I really want to talk about with that side is Marco Asensio. I mean, he's been fantastic for Villa since he came over.
Bro, he's reformed this attack. Like I don't.
Yep.
He has been the same way that Isco was for what team did Isco go to and start balling out for it? Is it Real Betis?
I believe he is a Betis player now.
Yeah, like I genuinely think
Sevilla. Well, but I think you're thinking of when was it 2022 when he went to Sevilla, or after that when he went to Betis?
I think I'm thinking about his time over at Betis. Because he balled. Like he was so dominant.
Yeah, he's been at Betis since the beginning of the 2023 season. 14 goals in 43 appearances.
Anyways, Asensio has 4 goal contributions in 5 matches. Kind of cracked.
He's on one, and I love every second of it.
He's also got like a wild story that I didn't know about. Like he met Papa Perez like on Perez's yacht. Like when he was a little kid, like they were just walking and they saw Perez on the boat, and like he talked to him or whatever, and he said, "I'm gonna play for Real Madrid one day." And then like as he grew up, like Perez remembered that, and then he ended up playing obviously for Madrid and winning multiple Champions Leagues. And I just think that story is insane. The sad part about that story is that his mother passed away when he was 15 and never got to see him live out his dream. But the whole concept of being a young player and meeting the guy who runs and operates the biggest club in the world and saying to him as a child, "I'm going to play for you one day," and then winning multiple Champions Leagues with that club is insane.
100%.
Yeah.
Asensio is goated, and I think as we start looking into the City side, I think Marmoush is becoming more and more goated.
He's disgusting.
Bro, it's crazy what he's doing. I'm sorry that it had to be against you, Chad.
It's Leicester City. It is not that deep, bro. It is
no. I'm not just talking about the Leicester.
Because I'm not talking about
since Marmoush has showed up in Manchester, he's been outrageous.
He's been insane, bro. He's been the only good player on the pitch for them most games, which is absolutely absurd to say because they do have the likes of like Holland and like.
Well, Holland's currently hurt.
Yeah, I know that, but like
Vardiol has not been as solid as a defender as everybody thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Diaz has fallen off a little bit. Savinho has not been the player that I think everybody thought that he was going to be, but I'm going to give him time.
Yeah, he's
First
young.
season can be tough to adapt. Gundogan has almost lost his legs.
Yes.
Doku is still he can dribble almost anybody, but his end product is just utter shit, to put it nicely.
Yeah, I think he'll end up peaking out at like a Raheem Sterling, like type of.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The City side aren't the most threatening. I think they'll keep on picking it up, and going into next season, I think they'll be a threat. But yeah, they smacked Leicester.
I don't know how much of a threat they're going to be next season because just like they have moves that they need to make, and we just got to see what they're doing. And
if they're still around,
look, yeah, like we don't know what's going to happen with that. Spoiler alert: nothing is going to happen with that.
Yeah,
nothing ever happens.
No.
I've heard enough. Deduct 10 points from Everton.
Literally at this point. Newcastle versus Brentford. Newcastle balled out. They actually played a half decent game. I'm surprised to be saying that, but yeah, nah.
They've been on one. They've been on one lately.
They're a good side. It's just it's so strange the style of play that they have. Yeah,
that Tonali goal was totally on purpose, by the way. He totally
also,
put that in on purpose.
Alexander Isak is a baller.
Yeah, that was said beforehand. I knew that.
I know, but he's a baller. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be at Newcastle next season.
I don't think he should be. I think Arsenal should do everything that they can to try to sign him. Everything.
Apparently, they're more interested in Gyökeres. Who, by the way,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
What?
What was that just, man? Yeah, what was that,
bro? Because guess what?
Gyökeres.
I would take Isak.
I would take Isak over Gyökeres too.
Established in the Prem.
Yeah. I did not realize that Victor Gyökeres was 26.
Yeah, he's older.
Like I thought like the way he's talked about as like a quote unquote like young talent, like yeah. Is he 26? Am I getting that right?
I think so.
Yeah, he's 26. He's older than Isak.
I thought Isak is also Isak.
25.
He's 25.
Yeah, he's 25.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know when their birthdays are. Like they could be the same age, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Give me the guy who's tried and true and tested and proven in the Premier League over nothing against Sporting and the Portuguese league, but give me a guy who has done it in England, because you're not going to have to go through the adaptation period.
And also look at Gyökeres' run of form once Ruben left. It's sad to see, but
I think the move for him is United, to go back and play for Ruben again.
I was agreeing with that as well. I think Isak would be a better fit for Arsenal anyways, because they need more of a target man. And I know Gyökeres can do that, but Isak is literally that. And he's good on the ball. Like he's what they wanted from Gabriel Jesus, or Jesus, whatever you want to say. Fucking that, he is exactly what they wanted from him. And of course, he's a winger. He's not going to produce that in the center. He's a forward. He's not a winger. He's not a striker. He's a forward.
Who, Isak?
No. Gabriel. Not Iglesias.
Oh, Gabriel Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, it's he's much more of a just forward, in the sense of like he can play middle, he can rotate out, and like
he'll get a good goal every once in a while, but it's mostly about the balls that he plays inside.
I think it's a good mixture of both. He's a fantastic finisher too.
Yeah. Palace wasn't playing Man U, so they didn't win. They drew Southampton 1-1. So
yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie, that's a loss. That's a loss.
Game.
I agree.
Yeah.
And take it away, Penny. AKA Brian.
Penny?
Yeah, I was trying to make a fucked up joke. You'll understand it.
I do understand it, but it was not very well.
Take it away, you rapscallion cheaters.
What? Because I
feel like that could be taken more.
So, like, do I think that Luis Diaz was potentially in the position to interfere? Yeah. Do I think that it was probably a bad call? Yeah. Have Liverpool and every other club in the Premier League benefited from bad calls? Yeah. I think Jordan Pickford said it best. He said something along the lines of, and I want to find the actual quote.
While Brian's doing that, let me say one thing. Everton didn't have a shot on target this game. So shut the fuck up, bruh.
Oh yeah, Liverpool played better. But
scraped away with a win. Fuck you.
But what Pickford said was, in the moment, I can't see what's happening. But Jared Branthwaite said it was a stonewall offside straight away. It's a big debate. We'll see what the referees come out and say. As a team, we thought it was offsides. But that's football. We're disappointed with the decision, but it can't always be perfect. I think that's a very mature way to look at it, from the sense of referees aren't always going to be perfect. And that's not, even with like a VAR review, it's not a debate of whether or not he was in an offside position, because he was in an offside position. It's a debate about whether or not he impacted the play from that offside position.
Yeah.
And that's one of those calls that I'm not sure who reffed the game, and I'm going to look at that real quick. because
my
long time Liverpool supporter, fucking number one Liverpool fan.
It was reffed by Samuel Barrett, and like, who's to say that like if Anthony Taylor or somebody else was reffing the game that they wouldn't have made a different judgment call? But like, that's just the reality of judgment calls in sports, where like when you have to make a call that's not necessarily by the book, in terms of like, yes, he was in an offside position, but you have to make the judgment of whether or not he impacted the play. That's where it comes down to who's reffing, and it's not going to be perfect because it's a judgment call. It's not like a, you know what I mean? Do I think that the call might have been wrong? Maybe. Do I care? No.
Ryan, I'm going to Photoshop your face onto the North Korean news anchor lady.
What?
You heard me. This is I'm hearing just, propaganda.
What do you mean propaganda? I'm talking about the reality of judgment calls in sports. Judgment calls sometimes go your way and sometimes they don't.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up at this point. Liverpool's winning the Prem.
We are not gonna wrap it up quite yet. I don't even really want to talk about Chelsea Spurs because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have this.
Leicester edited for 5 seconds. I wanted to talk my rant.
No, we can't. All right, hold on. This is supposed to be the fastest episode ever. This is not the fastest fucking episode ever.
It's close, but I'm gonna give Chadius his time to rant. Chad, have the floor.
Thank you. I have been right since day one. And the last ever Leicester City win in the TikTok era was against Tottenham. And the last ever goal was against Manchester United. So you can live with that with Karl for the rest of your life. I hope that keeps you up.
Was that the whole rant?
Yes.
Bro, have fun in the fucking championship. Eat a dick.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're gonna be in the championship next season. 2 seasons anyways, buddy. I don't want to hear it.
Bro, we have way too much money to be in the championship. That's the only reason why we're still in the Prem. We are trash. We are trash. We should be in the Champions League.
Not the Champions League. You should not be in the Champions League.
In League 3, holy fuck. But we'll move on.
League 3 doesn't exist.
It's gonna exist. They're gonna buy their own division so they can win it every year.
But there is.
No, it's Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, the National League.
National League. That's what I was thinking. My bad.
Yeah. So, keeping with the trend of the last topic that we'll talk about before we get out of here on not our quickest episode, but pretty close. We got the Manchester Derby coming up this weekend. Karl, how do you think that's going to go?
Can I end the call? Can I leave? How pissed would you be? I was just gonna do it, but I'm genuinely asking now.
Don't. But if you don't want to talk about it, that's just hysterical. Karl's pissed. He doesn't want to talk about the Derby coming up, so we're just gonna get out of here. Chad is showing an F to pay respects. So,
put F's in chat. Fuck, man, you.
We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Adios, guys.
7-1, Man City.
I love Hollow Knight.